COVID has also changed our relationship to healthcare. What does that mean for vaccination hesitancy in developing countries and developed nations?
Well, the misinformation about vaccines and associating certain people like myself or Fauci having malign intent with vaccines, that was most acute in the United States. But the pandemic, which you would have thought, wow, global health research, talking about health, being ready for the next pandemic, when you've got millions of deaths, isn't that, it's sad, it's tragic, but isn't at least there a benefit that health is on the agenda? Sadly, it's a topic nobody wants to talk about because it was painful, it's over, let's move on from that. And even the idea of, the importance of WHO, the importance of vaccine research, and telling people, hey, vaccines really are very well tested, that's a question. We'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say will get attention this time. Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1. And the second time I saw him was the March after that, so March 2017 in the White House. In both of those two meetings, he asked me if vaccines weren't a bad thing because he was considering a commission to look into ill effects of vaccines. And somebody, his name was Robert Kennedy Jr., was advising him that vaccines were causing bad things. And I said, no, that's a dead end. That would be a bad thing. Don't do that. He's making because of very, very high medical costs and a lack of willingness to say, is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient.
Absolutely. He has won me over. I never knew. A couple of years ago, I was, no pun intended, on the fence. Seriously. But now, at least with this, immigration shit, he plays hardball.
Yeah, he does. He does play hardball. You know what? It directly affects, this is what governors are for.
That's right.
You can cut. He needs to represent the people of his state. But he should have more power than the president as far as serving the people of his state. You can hit the like button, share if you agree. I understand a lot of libertarians out there, they believe in such limited government that they don't think the border issue is one where it's appropriate for the federal government to step in. I completely disagree because it affects all citizens of this country. However, if you are a border state, as Texas is, I think you're well within your right to take things into your own hands. So we have basically a constitutional crisis taking place in Texas. So Greg Abbott, Governor Wheelchair Guy, he defied the Supreme Court and will not allow Border Patrol to remove the razor wire. They'd put up razor wire. And then the Supreme Court said, you can't stop them cutting it down. Sorry, let me just be really clear. Governor Abbott said, all right, we're going to put up some razor wire here because we have a border crisis and you're not doing anything about it. Then you had Border Patrol cutting the razor wire off. Greg Abbott sued, said, no, we're not going to do that. Got punted. Supreme Court said, hold on a second, actually, they can still continue to cut the razor wire until this case, is seen to the end. And that's also a problem because you're supposed to have your right to a speedy trial. That does not take place in this country. It puts this Biden administration in a serious bind. So let me kind of give you the ins and outs here and why I hope that other states follow suit. This is a good example. This is a good example when you say, what can people do? Well, governors can do this, and you can hold your elected officials accountable because they are there to serve you. So despite a 5-4 Supreme Court ruling, right, against the state of Texas, Greg Abbott is going to continue, and we have a clip, fortifying the southern border.
The very latest on the border right now, the off over the use wire. Today, new video shows even more razor wire being put in along a contested section of the U.S. border. This is happening even after the Supreme Court on Monday voted to let federal border patrol agents remove all of that wire. The razor wire was installed as part of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's security at the border, known as Operation Lone Star. The Biden administration arguing now the razor wire prevents border patrol agents from doing their job.
Now, just to be fair,